In this video, evidence will be presented that the murder of LaVoy Finicum was premeditated. More specifically, it will be shown that an FBI agent fired a foam bullet, hitting LaVoy in the left side of his chest, where he often carried a gun, causing him to reach for the wound. The FBI agent fired this bullet for the purpose of making LaVoy reach in a way that would appear as if he was reaching for a gun, which would then justify the killing of LaVoy. The evidence will also show that these actions were premeditated and that they must have been planned by the FBI organizers of this operation. Red lines have been added to indicate shots fired. All shots were fired either by the FBI or the Oregon State Police. No shots were fired by LaVoy or the occupants of LaVoy's truck. The shot annotations were intended to be consistent with the Tri-County Major Incident Team analysis. However, one additional shot has been included that they did not reveal, and the evidence for this shot will be presented. Originally, LaVoy stopped when the FBI pulled him over. During this time, the FBI fired an unprovoked shot at Ryan Payne, who was in LaVoy's truck at the time. As a result of this shot, LaVoy decided to flee in his truck.
Okay, what about Ammon and those guys?
We can't get around them. I'm going to go get help.
Okay.
Stay down. I need a phone so I can call as soon as I get service.
Keep watching the phone, see if you get any service.
I don't have my phone.
I can't even get Joe Rice.
Coming up fast.
Yeah, they are.
Okay, I don't know about numbers.
Well, I got numbers, but I can't call because we have no service.
Okay.
No, mobile network not available.
Do you have numbers for people here in town?
As LaVoy comes around a blind curve, he sees the roadblock and begins braking. It is important to note that the roadblock is set up around a blind curve with a speed limit of 65 miles per hour, and that there is a significant downhill slope on this curve, and there is a 3-foot snowbank blocking the vision of the road ahead. All of these factors make the roadblock difficult to recognize and make it difficult to stop in time. It is very unusual to find conditions such as these to make a maximally deadly roadblock. Had the FBI moved the roadblock further down the road, it would have been easier to spot and easier to stop and much safer. The placement of the roadblock is designed to create a situation where LaVoy crashes into the roadblock, which can justify the killing of LaVoy. As LaVoy approaches the roadblock, notice that 3 shots are fired at his truck. There is no possible way that these 3 shots could stop the truck or make the situation safer for anyone, since at this time LaVoy is attempting to slow down as seen by his brake lights. These shots are fired to prevent LaVoy from being able to stop and to provoke a violent confrontation in order to justify killing LaVoy.
Yeah, but... Hang on!
Okay, they're shooting.
Hang on!
Okay, we're here.
Go ahead and shoot me!
Immediately as LaVoy exits the truck with his hands up, he is fired upon twice. His hands remain up. These shots were an attempt to provoke LaVoy to some action that might justify killing him. At this point, LaVoy has been fired upon 6 times. Every shot fits with a pattern of trying to provoke a situation that will justify killing LaVoy. Although the previous 6 shots and the dangerous placement of the barricade indicate premeditated murder by themselves, the events in the next few seconds are the focus of this video, and these are the most important events to show that the murder of LaVoy was premeditated. First, look at the actions of LaVoy as he leaves the truck. Notice that LaVoy is walking with a steady gait away from the truck. LaVoy keeps his hands up consistently even when 2 shots are fired, narrowly missing LaVoy. LaVoy is moving away from his truck because he knows he will be killed, and he is trying to draw fire away from the other people in the truck. He is walking to the most exposed position. If he intended to fight, he would not do this. Instead, he would have pulled his weapon earlier and used the truck as cover. I have stopped the video at the time of the foam bullet shot. Now watch the change in motion of LaVoy after the foam bullet shot. He looks confused, he limps, he lurches forward, he is spinning around and not walking straight, and his arms come down and go up several times. The character of LaVoy's motion has changed dramatically at this point. Something must have happened to explain this. Now we will examine the actions of this FBI agent who is kneeling in the snow with his gun aimed at LaVoy. For now I will assume that this FBI agent has not taken a shot and show that this leads to absurd conclusions. This FBI agent is not sighting his gun with the physical sight. He is kneeling and shooting from the hip. Although this makes it much harder to see that he is aiming his gun at LaVoy, this can be verified. This is very unusual since he has had time to prepare. This FBI agent uses cover in an unusual way. This FBI agent has positioned himself so that the black truck is between himself and the video camera. This FBI agent has not used the truck to protect himself from LaVoy. As soon as this FBI agent sees LaVoy reaching, this FBI agent turns away quickly. This is the opposite of what he should do in this situation. Would you turn your back on a man who has already been shot at 6 times and might be reaching for a gun? This FBI agent didn't think that LaVoy was reaching for a gun, and he bet his life on it. LaVoy has not been disarmed or secured, and this FBI agent turns away at the crucial moment, putting his fellow officers in danger. This FBI agent was waiting for LaVoy to come into view. Within 1 second of LaVoy coming into his view, he turns and walks away. This makes no sense. LaVoy is now visible. The FBI agent turns away. Here is the same segment at normal speed. LaVoy is now visible. The FBI agent turns away. As this FBI agent turns away, he is crouching, apparently hiding from something, but he is not hiding from LaVoy. His back is fully exposed to LaVoy, and this FBI agent does not seek cover from LaVoy, although cover is easily available behind any of the trucks. While LaVoy is being killed, this FBI agent crouches in front of the white FBI truck. He is still exposed to LaVoy, even though cover is only 1 step away. Immediately after LaVoy is killed, this FBI agent gets up and aims his gun at LaVoy's truck. Now this FBI agent uses a normal shooting posture. When it is assumed that LaVoy was reaching for a gun, the actions of this FBI agent appear to be insane. Nothing that he has done makes sense. A theory that interprets this FBI agent's actions as insane cannot be correct. We need to look for another explanation. If we assume different motives for this FBI agent, all of these events and more will be easily explained. This FBI agent is armed with foam bullets, and his job is to shoot LaVoy in the area where LaVoy carries a gun. The purpose is to get LaVoy to reach for the wound, which will appear on the video as reaching for a gun, and the FBI will be able to justify the killing of LaVoy. This FBI agent must get his shot quickly, and he must get away quickly without being noticed on the video. This FBI agent cannot allow this shot to be detected, because it would prove that the killing of LaVoy was intentional and premeditated. It is the intent from the beginning for the FBI to release the video as justification for the killing of LaVoy, and this FBI agent knows this. Although this theory is simple, it predicts that many unusual events will be found. The FBI agent should shoot early and run away. The FBI agent should be more afraid of the camera than of LaVoy. It predicts the location of a foam bullet injury on LaVoy to be near where he normally carries the gun. It even predicts what the FBI story will be. Because of the unusual nature of these predictions, if these things are found, it will be strong evidence for the theory. In addition, many events that up to now have had no explanation at all from any theory will be shown to have an explanation from this foam bullet theory. This FBI agent is hiding the fact that he is shooting. He is shooting from the hip, probably using a laser sight. This FBI agent is using the truck as cover to hide from the camera. He is not using the truck as cover from LaVoy. The fact that the truck fails to hide him from the camera is only due to the high angle of the camera at this instant, defeating his attempt to hide. This FBI agent shoots as soon as LaVoy is visible to him. He needs to get his shot as soon as possible. LaVoy becomes visible now. The FBI shoots now. The camera zoom is at the exact time when LaVoy comes into the view of the FBI agent. Did the camera operator know the plan and coordinate the timing of the zoom? Zooming at this exact time makes the foam bullet shot out of focus, but it enhances the vision of LaVoy reaching. If this is a coincidence, then it is a precisely timed and well-planned coincidence. LaVoy becomes visible now. The FBI shoots now. Here is the same segment at normal speed.
Trying to. Stay down, stay down, stay down.
There is a moment of motionlessness followed by a rapid relaxation of his body, indicating that this FBI agent has just taken a shot.
Stay down, stay down, stay down, stay down, stay down.
LaVoy reaches for the area where he has been shot.
Stay down. Stay down.
LaVoy reaches with both hands equally as if reaching for a wound, not with one hand as if reaching for a gun.
Stay down. Stay down. Stay down.
LaVoy reaches down and then immediately puts his hands back up, consistent with fighting the involuntary response to reach for the wound, but not consistent with reaching for a gun. After the shot, LaVoy suddenly develops a very distinct limp, as if his left leg, or possibly the left side of his body, is injured. LaVoy is clearly injured, but not as severely as one would expect from a real bullet, possibly indicating that a foam bullet was used. Each time that LaVoy tries to lift and move his left leg, he also reaches down. This indicates that the wound may be in his torso rather than his leg, and also that each reach is due to the wound from the initial foam bullet. If the injury is near where LaVoy carries a gun, it would be in the rib cage on his left side. This would make it very hard to hold up his hands, especially when lifting and moving his left leg. This matches the motion that we see from LaVoy. The FBI knows that it is very unlikely that anything would be found in the autopsy to reveal this wound. First of all, since LaVoy dies within seconds of this shot, bruising would not have time to form since his heart stops seconds later. Second, there is a lot of damage to the torso from real bullets, which could hide the superficial wound of a foam bullet. Now we will look at the autopsy report. This superficial abrasion is about the size of a bullet and is listed under number 2 gunshot wound of the neck and upper chest. The abrasion is near the gunshot exit, but it is not explained by the gunshot exit wound. This seems consistent with the type of injury expected from the foam bullet. The location of this wound also matches where LaVoy carries his gun. This diagram shows the approximate position of the gunshot exit wound, as well as the wound that I am interpreting as the foam bullet abrasion. The FBI special agent in charge for Oregon FBI will show us where LaVoy carries his gun.
On multiple occasions, Mr. Finicum was observed wearing a shoulder holster on the left side where he carried a sidearm.
The location and character of the wound in the autopsy and the location where LaVoy carries his gun are an exact match to the foam bullet theory. LaVoy's speech is disrupted during the shot. The shot occurs in the place that is labeled as inaudible in the audio transcript according to the Deschutes County Sheriff's Office, although they do not list a shot there. LaVoy's speech after the shot is not as clear as before the shot.
Go ahead and shoot me.
Damn! Trying to.
Shoot me. Get on the ground.
Stay down. Stay down. Stay down. Stay down. Stay down.
Shoot me. You have to shoot me.
Damn it. Are they shooting him? Did I shoot him? You assholes.
The shot can be clearly heard on the video. The sound is muffled because of its position behind the truck. Because of this, the sound has no direct path to the truck cab where the sound is being recorded and is reflected off the trees and landscape.
Stay down. Stay down. Stay down. Stay down.
This is the officer's statements from the Major Incident Team report. Officer 4 states that he can tell a less lethal shot by its sound. Here I will compare the sound of the foam bullet shot to LaVoy with the sound of shots using lethal bullets. Here is the foam bullet shot to LaVoy.
Stay down.
Here are several shots using lethal bullets. Now we will compare the sound of the foam bullet shot to LaVoy with other less lethal shots. The less lethal shots also have the sound of the bullet hitting the truck. Try to recognize the underlying sound of the shot. Here is the foam bullet shot to LaVoy.
Stay down.
Here are the less lethal shots.
Shit. Keep going. Up. Yes. That's ridiculous.
The sound of the shot to LaVoy is more consistent with the sound of less lethal shots. We now have confirmed that the foam bullet shot is heard on the video and that the sound is consistent with the less lethal shot. This is all completely consistent with the foam bullet theory. Victoria screams immediately after the shot. This indicates that Victoria saw LaVoy being shot. Before Victoria screams, Shauna says, "Stay down." After Victoria screams, Shauna again says, "Stay down." This indicates that Victoria was not staying down at this time and is further evidence that Victoria witnessed this shot.
Stay down. Stay down. Stay down. Stay down.
Victoria claims that she watched LaVoy get shot while walking with his hands in the air. She clearly describes the first shot as being separate from the 3-shot sequence that killed LaVoy. Her description of this shot is consistent with the video and consistent with the foam bullet theory.
They shot him like right there because he was just walking with his hands in the air, and I saw it. I swear to God, he was just walking with his hands in the air, and they shot him. And they shot him dead, and then after he was down on the ground, they shot him 3 more times.
Are they shooting him?
The FBI agent turns away immediately after the shot. Because of the rapidness of this action, he must have planned his exit before taking the shot.
Stay down. Stay down. Stay down. Stay down.
This FBI agent turns away as soon as LaVoy begins to reach. His mission has been accomplished. Now he needs to make his escape. The FBI agent turning away at this time is an extreme action that is consistent with the foam bullet theory, but strongly contradicts the theory of LaVoy reaching for a gun. The FBI agent is not leaving his post, since his job was not to disarm and secure LaVoy, but to get LaVoy to reach for his wound. His job is now to get away so that his shot will not be discovered. The FBI agent's gun hand remains pointed at LaVoy even as he is beginning to turn. This indicates that a shot has just been taken. His gun hand remains tensed longer because it must absorb the gun recoil. Had he not just taken a shot, his gun hand would have moved with his body as he turned. This FBI agent is trying to hide, but not from LaVoy. He is trying to avoid being noticed on the video. While LaVoy is being killed, he crouches low in front of the truck, making himself nearly invisible to the camera. While LaVoy is being killed, this FBI agent is trying not to be seen. He wants the focus to be on the officers making the kill shot. Immediately after LaVoy has been shot, this FBI agent gets up out of hiding. This FBI agent now aims his gun in the normal way and is no longer hiding his shot. He acts as if he never had interaction with LaVoy. After this FBI agent points his gun at LaVoy's white truck, less lethal rounds can be heard hitting the truck near where he is aiming. According to the major incident team, only less lethal rounds were fired at LaVoy's truck at this time. This is consistent with this FBI agent being armed with foam bullets.
Damn it. Are they shooting him? Did I shoot him? You assholes. Oh my God! Okay.
In the following video clip, Sheriff Nelson will present the findings of the major incident team. I have also inserted my own comments.
When you see this footage in real time, you will see that Mr. Finicum rapidly gets out of his truck.
There was no mention of the 2 shots that were fired at LaVoy as he got out of the truck.
He is commanded to get on the ground. He does not comply with commands and get on the ground, and continues moving away from his truck. He is commanded a second time to get on the ground. Again, he does not comply and continues moving away.
The video has been stopped just a few frames before LaVoy is shot with a foam bullet.
He reaches across his body with his right hand into his jacket towards the area.
This is not even an accurate description of the events in the video. LaVoy is clearly reaching with both hands. Saying that he is reaching across his body with his right hand is misleading.
Where his gun was found. The Oregon State Police do not shoot. He lifts his hands. He looks down at his jacket and again reaches across his body with his right hand into his jacket towards the area where his gun was found.
If LaVoy was reaching for a gun, he should have a gun in his hand after the first reach. There is no reason for him to fail at this task. There is no reason to look down, no reason to reach more than once, and no reason to put his hands up between reaches. These events are not consistent with reaching for a gun.
The Oregon State Police do not shoot. It is important to note that our investigation has determined that at this point, Mr. Finicum has not been shot with any lethal rounds or less lethal rounds.
If LaVoy has not been shot with any lethal or less lethal rounds, then there is nothing to prevent LaVoy from successfully grabbing his gun. If the major incident team claims that LaVoy was actually reaching for a gun, they need to explain what prevented him from doing it successfully after 3 tries. They have presented a case for why the officers may have mistakenly thought LaVoy was reaching for a gun, but when they tried to claim that LaVoy actually was reaching for a gun, their reasoning fails. In order to maintain the theory of LaVoy reaching for a gun, they have had to ignore most of the evidence or pretend that it is not relevant and focus only on the evidence that was engineered, primarily LaVoy reaching down. They must also gloss over the details of the reaching event, because when you look at them too closely, they are not consistent with LaVoy reaching for a gun. This is a summary of the evidence that was presented. 3 theories are compared. First, the theory that LaVoy reached for a gun. Second, the foam bullet theory, but assuming that it was not premeditated and that the FBI agent made the decision to fire as the situation developed. Third, the foam bullet theory that has been presented in which the murder of LaVoy was premeditated. A plus sign is placed in the table if the evidence is explained by the theory. A minus sign is placed in the table if the evidence contradicts the theory. If a spot in the table is blank, this means that the evidence is not explained by the theory. To score each theory, 1 is added for each plus sign and 1 is subtracted for each minus sign. The total score for each theory is shown here. The theory that LaVoy reached for a gun has a negative score. This is because more evidence contradicts it than supports it. The foam bullet theory explains all of the evidence. If we remove the premeditated part of the foam bullet theory, the theory falls apart and explains less than half of the evidence. This shows that to explain all of the evidence, the murder of LaVoy must have been premeditated. It is clear that this analysis strongly supports the foam bullet theory and strongly supports the conclusion that these actions were premeditated. Because the actions of the FBI agent are radically inconsistent with normal behavior and normal procedures, there is no way to avoid the conclusion that these actions were premeditated. Although the actions of only one FBI agent have been analyzed, the theory requires that he was not acting alone. The planners of this operation are implicated even more because of the numerous coordinated actions necessary to create this situation. The evidence is clear and the conclusion is certain. The murder of LaVoy Finicum by the FBI was premeditated.